Welcome back on the AM show, and as promised, we deliver. Now, Ghana has presented the ratified instruments of the African Union Convention on Cross-Border Cooperation to the African Union Commission at a ceremony at the African Union Commission headquarters in Addis Ababa. And guess what? Ghana signed the agreement to the convention on the 4th of July, 2017. The agreement was further ratified by the Parliament of Ghana on the 9th of February 2023. Now, the African Union Convention on Cross-Border Cooperation, known as the Niamey Convention, is a framework for collaboration across borders which ensures integration in Africa and enhances prospects for peaceful resolution of boundary disputes between member states. Well, the aim of the convention is to promote cross-border cooperation and ensure peaceful resolution of border disputes. And guess what? Maxwell Agbagba, my colleague, has more on that before we delve into the nitty-gritty with our guest.
The Niamey Convention is a framework for collaboration across borders which ensures integration in Africa. The aim of the convention is to promote cross-border cooperation and to ensure peaceful resolution of border disputes. 18 out of 55 member states have signed the convention, with 8 of the countries, including Ghana, ratifying the convention. The African Union has over the years promoted cross-border cooperation as part of efforts aimed at achieving an integrated continent where borders would serve as bridges for peace, growth and development. The instrument was received by the legal counselor of the African Union Commission in the presence of officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ghana Embassy in Ethiopia. Ghana has thus become the 8th country to ratify the convention. Speaking after presenting the instruments, the Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Bankole Adeoye, congratulated the government and people of Ghana for ratifying the African Union Convention on Cross-Border Cooperation. He further praised the Ghana Boundary Commission for the strides made within the few years of its existence. He expressed appreciation and excitement of the work of the Ghana Boundary Commission as one of the vibrant commissions in Africa whose work has been geared towards the prevention of boundary conflict along the international land and maritime boundaries of Ghana and its neighbors. The Commissioner revealed that the AU Commission had monitored the progressive work of the Ghana Boundary Commission with the neighboring boundary commissions of Côte d'Ivoire, Togo and Burkina Faso, and was impressed with the commitment and enthusiasm of the Commission.
See how passionate you are about the Ghana Boundary Commission and its activities, the history, the parliamentary act that set it in motion, the inauguration of the board by His Excellency President Nana-Addo, and how you have been working since then with Togo, with Côte d'Ivoire, with Nigeria, and your request to definitely serve as chief advocate for the Niamey Convention. We fully buy into that. And one of the things I'm going to ask my team to do is that I know that in the last 2 years, one time under Cameroon, we discussed the question of border. It was even at the ministerial level. It was at ministerial level. But the emphasis should now zero in on the Niamey Convention. We need to get the 8 countries. Because I know also very well that the Nigerian Boundary Commission works in both international and internal, because communities fight over land, food, for erosion, because of climate change impact. There's always that clash. So the government made sure that they had the 2 focus areas, both internal and external.
For us as a boundary commission, we started and we're doing very well. We think that our advocacy. Just give you an example. The African Union Border Program, in collaboration with GIZ, is bringing all the SADC countries to Ghana somewhere in the 10th quarter for us to coach them on how to establish boundary commissions. In addition, Ethiopia will be joining, Guinea and Sierra Leone will be joining. So it's going to be a big thing, and we'll show them what to do, especially the legal aspects, the legal frameworks, what to do internally to be able to get this. We're a very vibrant commission. We want to lead an advocacy in Africa, not only for countries to ratify the convention, but for us to ensure that the convention itself the letter and spirit of the convention is applied to all countries, so that the countries within the African Union will live peacefully.
National Coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Yumanokotia, also met the team from GIZ.
We still continue. The regional office here, so far as various support is concerned, and I know that we are having a lot of programs that we're kind of action we're going to unfold from now until next year. We are also very happy that GIZ is giving us the opportunity to mentor some countries from SADC, to mentor them in Accra on how to establish boundary commissions, which we've mentioned to the EU and they're very excited about it. And we want to use that opportunity as well to be advocates of or ambassadors of countries ratifying the African Union Convention on Cross-Border Cooperation.
The Ghana Boundary Commission led the process of facilitating the ratification of the Niamey Convention in close collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, the Ministry of Justice, the Office of the Attorney General, and other relevant agencies. The ratification by Ghana was achieved through careful stakeholder meetings organized under the auspices of the Ghana Boundary Commission to ensure broad consultations and inputs prior to the ratification of the convention by the Ghana. National Coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Yumanokotia, said based on joint activities between neighboring countries, the convention will facilitate the development of boundaries and ease free movement of persons and goods along common borders. The objectives of the Niamey Convention include, but not limited to, the promotion of cross-border cooperation at local, sub-regional and regional level, the facilitation of the peaceful resolution of boundary disputes, the promotion of peace and stability through conflict prevention and continental integration, the transformation of border areas into catalysts for growth, socio-economic and political integration of the continent. Ghana stands to benefit immensely from the Niamey Convention in various aspects. First, the convention provides a legal framework for the development and implementation of cross-border initiatives. These initiatives will provide mutually beneficial projects, infrastructure, and facilities for border communities across Ghana and its neighbors. The convention also formalizes cooperation between Ghana and other stakeholders, as well as institutionalized cross-border cooperation through a continent-accepted framework. The economic benefits are also many.
And that was my colleague Maxwell Agbagba bringing us the scoop on that. We're joined now by Major General Emmanuel Kotia, and he, of course, is Coordinator, Ghana Boundary Commission. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, and good morning to your numerous viewers.
It's a pleasure having you. So for the first time, I get to interview you, Major General Kotia. I always say it proudly, my lecturer for my master's program. It's good to have you, respectfully, sir, join the conversation today. So let's kickstart from the essence of this convention, basically, the Niamey Convention. What does it aim to achieve? Let's start the conversation from there.
Clearly, as your reporter mentioned, it is meant to promote cross-border cooperation and to ensure peaceful resolution of border or boundary disputes. Now, if we talk about boundary disputes, we're referring to both land and maritime boundaries. Eventually, when we get our new bill into effect, air boundaries are also going to be featured as part of our responsibilities. So the aim of the convention is in sync with the responsibilities that are spelled out in the law that established the Ghana Boundary Commission in Ghana. Now, this will be based, in achieving this aim, it will be based on joint activities between neighboring countries, and it is to facilitate the development of borderlands, cross-boundary activities, to ease free movements of persons and goods across the various boundaries. Basically, that is it. But let's also put on record that the AU Convention
the decision to adopt the AU Convention was at the 23rd ordinary session of the African Union assembled held in Malabo in Equatorial Guinea. And therefore, the convention, in setting it up, is in line with the agreement to establish an African Union agenda of 2063 under the aspiration of a continent of seamless border and management of cross-border resources through dialogue. So basically, dialogue is an underlining catalyst so far as this convention is concerned.
And as far as Ghana is concerned, you situated the conversation neatly, but as far as Ghana is concerned, between 2017 and now, we've gone through many processes. Now that we've presented the ratified documents, what does that mean for us? What does it mean for the sanctity of Ghana's borders?
It means that we are at liberty to negotiate and have discussions with our neighboring states so far as border issues are concerned. The second aspect is that we are easily open for funding from development partners and other friendly countries so far as development of our boundaries are concerned. I'll give you an example. Currently, we are working with Togo in delimitation our boundaries, not demarcation. The boundaries have already been demarcated, but we are doing a delimitation exercise. And this delimitation exercise is to confirm the pillars. And we do it jointly with the neighboring countries. And the work we are doing currently is sponsored by GIZ, funded by GIZ. And we are going to replace the old pillars that have been removed or those that are shaky on the ground with new boundary pillars, and that is also going to be funded by some development partners. So it gives us that leeway and the support that is given by the African Union Convention. The other aspect is that on cross-border issues, we can receive support from the ECOWAS, the AU, so far as intervening in the private community, border communities concerned.
Now, is this linked in any way to the insurgency situation in the sub-region, and how, if any, will it deal with same?
It doesn't address the insurgency in the sub-region, but then we work in collaboration with other agencies that are providing security in that respect. For instance, if you have an immigration officer at the border, and we have seen it a couple of times, sometimes because the demarcations are not very clear, they do not know where the boundary is. So it is our responsibility as a commission to identify where the boundary is. And I've mentioned it before, even I've mentioned in your class before, that one of the key characteristics of a state is to have a defined territory. Now, having a defined territory means that you must have well-demarcated boundaries. Without boundaries, it means that you don't have a territory. That is how important the convention is and how important the Ghana Boundary Commission is.
I do not know. I mean, in the sub-region, we've had a number of countries that unfortunately have gone the way of coup d'etats, from Mali to Burkina Faso to Guinea, and now Niger, among others, and in Central Africa as well. But while I do not know whether they have ratified these documents or have subscribed to it, what is the move to rope them in? Is there any such move, or are they totally outside of this circle?
Incidentally, and let me make a correction. Now we have 9 countries that have ratified. Nigeria was the last country to ratify to present their ratified instruments last week to the African Union. Now, incidentally, all the countries that border us have all ratified the convention ahead of us, quite over 2 years ago. Cote d'Ivoire has ratified, Burkina Faso has ratified, Togo has ratified, and Mali has ratified. It doesn't have a relationship with insecurity as such, but then having such boundaries well demarcated prevents interstate conflicts. But intrastate conflicts is completely a different ballgame. So that is the issue I want to highlight.
I am still not a bit clear on the last aspect. So does it not totally affect the situation? Once, I mean, these military takeovers have happened, you're basically saying it does not affect the overall situation, if I get you correctly.
No, it doesn't affect the cooperation and the relationship that the Ghana Boundary Commission will have with the Ghana Boundary Commission with Burkina. Let me inform you that we had a joint meeting with Burkina in May this year. That was in the midst of the military government. Now, what I'm saying is that it is an independent body and it doesn't have any effect so far as the workings of the boundary commissions are concerned.
Right. Before I get into other matters on the Boundary Commission, so with Ghana presenting the ratified documents to the relevant AU Commission, what next? What do we do? Where do we go from here?
It means that we need to implement some of the functions or most of the functions that are in our convention. We need to incorporate the functions into our laws, the Ghana Boundary Commission law, and then we also need to educate people along the boundaries and within and then other actors within the country on the need for understanding on what the convention is about.
And before I let go of you, there are some crucial angles I also want us to look at, which feed directly into your work. We all know of the famous ITLOS ruling as far as Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are concerned, that maritime boundary dispute. What more can you share on the status of that and what proceedings are between both countries?
Yeah, that's a ruling that was made between in the dispute between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. The ruling brought the finality of the conflict. Now, the documents of the ruling on Ghana's side has been deposited of the UN Department of Law of the Sea. Now, the issue between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire is then the implementation of the ITLOS ruling. And let me inform you that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire have been meeting, the Ghana Boundary Commission and the National Boundary Commission have been meeting. And I am happy to announce that next month in November, we are visiting some of the sites that are closer to the terminating boundary of our maritime boundary on land to inspect and do some reaffirmation exercise within that period. So it has been going on well. Cote d'Ivoire has been cooperative so far as that is concerned. The only omission is that Cote d'Ivoire wants us to go together and go and deposit the ruling, which we are in the process of doing. But so far, everything is going well. We've also, an additional point I need to mention is that since the ruling, we've not had an inspection of our boundary line, whether people have interfered or come into our boundary line. We successfully undertook this inspection this year. Sometime in April, we were able to undertake this inspection using a naval boat in collaboration with the Ghana Navy. We are expected to go on another inspection in November with the Ghana Navy.
Interesting dynamics. I know with Togo, we've had some issues in terms of the boundary, and we have had to do some reworking of those boundaries, of course, in collaboration with both countries. So it would be interesting to find out what the dynamics are as far as our neighbor, Cote d'Ivoire, is concerned. But let's focus a bit more on the Boundary Commission. You've been at the helm of affairs for a brief spell now. What are the achievements so far of the Boundary Commission? What has the Commission been up to under your watch?
Thank you very much for this question. Let me mention that the machinery of a commission was not in place until I was appointed. Once I was appointed, I put the machinery in place, and we now have an office, and we have personnel who are working in various departments in the commission. Now, we quickly went, and we had contacted all our neighboring countries, and we are all in the same platform so far as discussions on issues are concerned. So once there's an issue that comes up, and we have a number of them, between our boundaries, neighboring countries, we call each other and we're able to resolve this, sometimes on foot or we move to the ground to resolve it. And I can mention that there was a problem in Pulmanco where there was a dispute between the locals concerning our international boundary. We invited the Cote d'Ivoire Land Boundary, the Togo Land Boundary Commission. We went to the ground, we resolved it and announced to the whole world the resolution of it because the legacy documents were in place and there was no need for any argument. The Togolese locals were wrong in shifting the borders. Now, another thing that I need to mention is that we have carried on a number of reaffirmation exercises with Togo on land boundary. And we have covered, so far, we've covered about 250 kilometers. This exercise continues from the 19th of this month, October, in Togo, and we're going to cover from Hunuta, the Middle Belt area, up to some parts of the northern part of Togo, together with Togo. So it is ongoing. At the same time, we are going to start the construction of boundary pillars from Aflao up, and contractors have been earmarked by GIS who are paying for it to start the construction. So we're going to do a continuous work on the Togo side, and that has been a great achievement so far as the boundary commission is concerned. One other achievement is the facilitating the ratification of the African Union Convention on Cross-Border Convention. Remember, Ghana signed the convention in 2017. We had to wait up to this year to ratify it, and so that is one achievement that is that we need to take on our back. However, there have been other issues. For instance, we have identified some deprived communities along our boundaries, and we've been able to get funding to be able to do some rehabilitation of a health facility in Lake Lebikame in the Volta region. We've also been able to secure funding from the Ministry of Roads in Ghana to open up the road to Dollar Power. And currently, the 48th Engineer Regiment is working on that road. They've been able to do the first clearance. We are hoping that when the rain stops, they will start putting on gravels. And again, we've done the same thing, opening the road around Sapalga area towards the Burkina border. We've also successfully and continue to negotiate with Togo on our maritime boundary challenge. And currently, that issue has gone up to the head of states level. And we're hoping that we'll be hearing something good at the end of the day so far as the dispute. That would have been one of the historical moments between these two countries, since two countries would have come together to settle a dispute without going to the courts. So basically, these are some of the achievements among many others that I can mention now.
Interesting dynamics, and kudos to you for the good work. In fact, it is reflected in this message. Akwesi Pambo says, kudos to you, Major General Dr. Kotia. So you're getting some applause or plaudits on social media. But right before you go, two quick things. One of them has to do with the importance of the construction of the road in the border community area of Dollar Power. How far advanced is that, and what's the importance? How important is it?
One, I'll start with the importance of Dollar Power. Dollar Power is a place that we do not have state's presence there, and it's also at the border of our border of Cote d'Ivoire. The issue is that we have a lot of illegal mining activities going on, and this is affecting our boundary pillars. That was one of the reasons why we went there in 2021. Now, we realized that most of the boundary pillars were being removed because people wanted to take advantage to go ahead of illegal activities, including mining. Now, when we got there, we were able to speak to the community, and we were able to stop those activities from going. I mean, not the illegal mining, but at least the removal of our international boundary pillars. Now, basically, what we realized that there was no security present because there was no access route to them. We only go to we can get to Dollar Power by helicopter, and movement within Dollar Power, we have to use motorbikes. And the personnel who are staying in Dollar Power also use motorbikes. But we have not less than 10,000 people in Dollar Power. So we wrote a policy paper that there was a need for the opening. So fortunately, the Minister of National Security, Minister of Lands, and the Roads Minister, they came together and agreed that we can facilitate the construction of that road. So an amount of 78 million was promised. Part of it has been released. That's what the clearance are done. The more money is released, the faster the road construction will go. So currently, the 48th Engineer Regiment is on the ground undertaking the construction. Why 48th Engineer Regiment is because the area is infested with a lot of elements, and it is better you use the soldiers so that they can protect themselves. There are a lot of issues there that provides the agency for us to intervene and to construct the road as fast as possible. We will be visiting Dollar Power at the end of the month, and we will ask your reporters to join us for us to look at the progress of the construction and what is being done at Dollar Power.
We salute you for the work you've done. Before you go, though, I know you are well-traveled as far as the military, beyond the military, but especially in terms of missions here and there. I'm wondering whether you have any take on the Liberian election so far. I mean, I was stuck there in 1989, and they're back at the polls. Interesting dynamics because 2 people have died. Do you have any memories of ever being there? I do not know, and what your thinking may be as they hold their elections?
Yes, the simple message to Liberians would be that they should conduct these elections peacefully, because I was one of the 2 who was lined for Liberia First War in 1990, and I know Liberia very well. Fought in Liberia to secure the peace in Liberia. So it will be very sad for somebody like me who has participated in that conflict in resolving that conflict to hear that Liberia has really lapsed back to a conflict. Now, we pray that the elections go on peacefully. The Electoral Commission should go on its work peacefully. The security agency should be able to avert anything that will distract and destroy the sanctity of peace that has been secured, stability that has been secured in Liberia.
We're grateful for your time with us this morning, and we wish you the very best in all your endeavors as you lead the Boundary Commission to greater heights. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
And that is Major General Dr. Emmanuel Kotia. He is National Coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission. He joined us for a conversation. Now stay with us, because up next, we still have that conversation on Liberia, where 2 people, unfortunately, have lost their lives. We also have a conversation on the EMY, or the Emmy Awards, and then again, the National Science and Math Quiz. We'll definitely find our levels in there. All of that still to come on the AM show. Do stay. We'll be right back.